Guys, Garcia versus Haney pay-per-view numbers are in, and the numbers are indeed staggering. All this and more with a very special guest on the latest edition of War a Week Boxing.
Rashawn Holdings proudly presents War Week Radio Chats with ring announcer Joseph Herron.
Guys, welcome. Happy Friday to everyone. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's a weekend already. This week has been an amazing boxing week. All kinds of news. And here to help me announce the Garcia-Haney pay-per-view numbers is a dear friend of mine, the incomparable IOTBA, Mr. Corey Bradshaw. Woo!
Joseph, what's popping, man? Shout out to everybody from the 2142 across the pond. Shout out to everybody that's going to be in the chat. I mean, it's a big day in boxing, man. This is incredible.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, this is a blessed day for everyone who was really gloom and doom. And it was for very good reason in the first quarter. Really, nothing was really going on. PBC hadn't launched their Amazon Prime yet. DAZN really hadn't sizzled. The only promoter that's been consistently performing this year has been Golden Boy. They've been knocking it out of the park, Corey. I think Ryan Garcia, or this weekend coming up tomorrow night, is going to be their 12th event of the year thus far.
That's showing you hard work, dedication. That's showing you Oscar De La Hoya, not only was he a fighter inside the ring, that's showing you outside the ring promoting, he's doing the same thing. And we got to salute him for that.
That is a very good point. Let me tell you what Don Chargan does. Most people don't realize my mentor, the gentleman who taught me and Oscar and Eric and Richard Schaefer everything they know about the boxing business, was Don Chargan, the best to have ever done it. That's why we call our channel War a Week Boxing. Don War a Week Chargan, he's got the Guinness Book of World Record, the promoter who's staged the most events ever with over 5,000 shows. That's like the Pete Rose on the all-time hit king. That's a record that will never be broken.
Yeah, that just show you what he meant, to the boxing.
And what he told Oscar, he said, because he was still alive and still their senior advisor when Canelo when Al Heyman gutted Golden Boy and took all of his talent and formed PVC. Canelo was loyal to Oscar De La Hoya, and he said, "No, I'm standing with you." Right? And so Oscar was in the office with Eric, without Richard Schaefer running the show, and they were fighting for TV dates because they only had one big star, and that was Canelo, because they were gutted. And Don came on the show when we used to have War Week, the Don Chargan show on East Side Boxing. He said, I'm really impressed, Oscar, and he said the exact same thing you did. Oscar wasn't just a fighter in the ring. I'm really impressed with Oscar and Eric rolling up the sleeves and grinding every single day, trying to sign prospects and trying to get TV dates. And he goes, this kid is a winner. Like, regardless of what he's done, some of the mistakes that he's done outside of the ring, This kid is a winner, and there is no quit in Oscar De La Hoya. He said that before he had passed away. And I tell you what, we were all the better for Don's tutelage. And look what's happening with Golden Boy right now. They have just cultivated a genuine superstar who may be now, with all of the mainstream controversy and the popularity, he may be the biggest star in boxing at this time, because he was pitted against a guy, Devin Haney. He's a marginal attraction, a good mid-level attraction, but he's not a superstar, Devin Haney. He's not a huge mainstream name. At least he wasn't before this fight. And Ryan Garcia single-handedly carried this event. Now, here's the drum roll, brother. Correa, are you ready for the big reveal?
Yes, sir.
As you were, brother.
Yeah, my reports told me, you know, from
You can
one of
name drop. You can
one
name
of
drop if you
Golden
like.
Boy's you know, partners in Bernard Hopkins, he told me today that it's true. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney did 1.5 million pay-per-view buys.
Yes, sir. And it was confirmed last night by my friend matchmaker Robert Tapia as well. 1.5 million pay-per-view purchases, guys. That's as much as Canelo versus Mayweather. That's more than Golovkin, Canelo 1 and 2. 1.5 million, guys. You realize what that means? Like, that means that Canelo, DAZN, no one has to rely on Canelo anymore to draw mainstream audiences. Look how many stars we have right now in the American market. We've got Jake Paul, Mike Tyson coming up. We've got Tank Davis coming up. Canelo Alvarez next Saturday. And now Ryan Garcia, a legitimate pay-per-view commodity. Guys, it's good to be a boxing fan right now. Like, honestly, I am ecstatic. I am to the moon right now, brother. This is great news. I wonder what Dana White's going to have to say about this, right?
I mean, you know, Dana White is smart, man. He gonna look at the circumstances and understand, you know, who Ryan Garcia is, and you know, and the hoopla that he did, carrying the fight like you said by himself, and like you stated weeks before, you know, a week before, you know, like well after the fight, that this fight had did numbers, right? So not only did you know that, but the people who in the business and have been in the business long enough, who got connections, you know, like we do, they all knew that these numbers was going to be huge. See what's so special about this Joseph is, right? You're talking about doing the unthinkable, right? Making a precedence, right? Like Ryan Garcia is no longer looked at as a TikToker or a
Yep.
YouTuber, right?
Yep.
People really have to put some respect on his name. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, they say boxing is the theater of the unexpected. And what happened this previous Saturday night, that was totally unexpected, the way Ryan Garcia came out there and dominated in the fashion that he dominated. And what this have did for the sport of boxing, because we always need something groundbreaking. And Saturday night, Ryan Garcia did something that's groundbreaking and that's going to take boxing to a new level, especially with how young he is and the popularity that come behind him. And now everybody can start putting some respect on his name, knowing that he is a true fighter.
Yes, sir. He beat that ass. Let's just be honest, guys. And once again, geez. No, it's on my phone. I can't upload it. I was going to upload the photo of, well, hold on. I was going to upload the picture of Floyd doing the number 3 and smiling.
Yeah.
Guys, trust me, they're going to make a rematch. DAZN is going to demand it. Oscar and Bernard, they're going to demand it. Like, and why wouldn't Ryan want to do it? That's an easy, another $50, $60 million at least. for Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
And he's going to be now, instead of a 60-40 split or 55-45, he's going to be the overwhelming A side. He gets to have his way with Devin Haney at 47, 44, or whatever weight he wants it at. Brother, the world is his oyster. And I tell you what, boxing is better off for it. This kid is a phenom at this time. So what I want to say is, who wins in the rematch at 147? Because let's just face it, guys, the rematch is going to happen. What happens, Correa, when you see a movie and it's a really good one? What do the studios want to do?
Oh, they want to make a sequel.
That's it. Guys, this is no different. DAZN's going to want another one. And you know what? It's about time. They deserve it. They deserve it.
And
Tell
you know
you what.
what's so
Yes, sir, go ahead.
special about this, Joseph, is right. You hear a lot of the naysayers who didn't think, this is a legit win for Ryan Garcia because he came in 3 pounds 2 ounces over. It's going to be a lot of people who are going to believe that with this fight going up to, a catch weight, that Devin Haney is going to be able to do the unthinkable because they're going to say it's going to be on fair grounds now. But I'm going to be honest with you, Joseph. I don't care if this fight is at 144 or 147. Like, I was just talking to Bernard Hopkins. We did an interview with Bernard Hopkins. And I want you to tell me if you get this same feel. He stated, because I asked him, would Devin Haney be the same again? And he said, absolutely not. He said, you know what this remind me of? He said, I want you to promise me that you're going to look this up as soon as we get off the interview. He
Yes,
said, I
sir.
want you to go find that fight with Medrick Taylor versus
Oh, boy.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Oh, boy. You know what? I don't know if it was that bad because that was a brutal beat down to the body and head. And yeah, he was winning the fight, but he took a career-altering punishment. Well, hold on. Let's talk to my brother Brandon, boxing scholar. Cap. I'm sorry, Brandon. Why would you say that, sir? Are you saying, well, hold on. Are you saying that because it's not career altering? I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. There, listen. Brandon, he's a very, very smart boxing aficionado. I had the pleasure of meeting Brandon. He came to one of my shows and covered one of my shows ringside. And I got a chance to pick his brain. I came on a show several times. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Boxing Scholar yet, he's a very smart boxing aficionado, boxing fan. He does a great job covering the sport. Guys, please go subscribe to my brother, Boxing Scholar. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning, brother. But no, it wasn't that. And let me ask, well, no, never mind. That's another topic. But Correa, in my opinion, that was a little closer to maybe, no, it wasn't even Cotto versus Margarito. But it was very humbling. And in my opinion, we need to judge slowly, guys. Because, yeah, he got a beat down, but that's not unusual to boxing. This is boxing. And you're going to get hit, no matter how good your defense is. I mean, look, even Dimitri Bivol, Shakur Stevenson, they are the most defensively responsible fighters in boxing. And they still get hit 18% of the time. That's 1 out of 5 punches thrown land. You're going to get hit. So any fans who, well, he gets hit too much. You know what? That's like saying, oh, well, Russ or Michael Phelps, he's a great swimmer, but he got wet, didn't he? Guys, it's boxing. So once again, this is all I have to say. Judge slowly, because Ryan Garcia, they have a history in the amateurs. You know what this reminds me more of? Do you remember Sugar Shane Mosley and Vernon Forrest, the late great Viper?
Oh, yeah, that's a great one right there.
That's what this reminds me of, because Sugar Shane at the time, entering into that fight, they were, he was the #1 pound for pound fighter in boxing. He had just beaten the brakes off of Oscar De La Hoya. He jumps from 35 all the way to 47, and he beats that ass. And it was decisive. And then his very next fight, he takes on his old amateur nemesis who had his number in the amateurs. In my opinion, I think Ryan Garcia may just have that number. He may just have Haney's number. That's what I think. I think it's a little closer to that. So let's judge slowly, guys. But trust me, the money is too big to turn down if you're Devin Haney. Like, realistically, Correa, where else is Devin Haney going to make that kind of coin?
Nowhere. And also, it's the fact that, Devin Haney also stated that Ryan Garcia didn't do nothing, not a titi better than him. He was going to expose Ryan Garcia, and the total opposite was done to him. So Devin Haney has no choice but to hold face. He has no choice but to say, oh, them 3 pounds and 2 ounces was the difference, just to have that chip on his shoulder. But this type of money right here, you can't turn down, win, lose, or draw. And I truly think, the way Devin Haney kept getting up, after getting brutalized by Ryan Garcia, that showed his character and showed that he a true fighter and showed that he really wanted, because any fighter could have gave up. But Devin Haney made sure he stood up and kept fighting them whole 12 rounds. So, like you stated, Joe, Ryan Garcia going into this fight gonna be the super A side, right?
Hell
And
yes.
like I
And he
say,
deserves it.
and I think it's going to be bigger, because if the fight be at a catch weight, then people going to assume that Devin Haney is going to be able to be stronger and it's going to be on a even plateau. But like you say, Joseph, if somebody got your number, they just got it. That's just in life. That's just how it be sometime. And that analogy you use with Sugar Shane and Vernon Forrest was absolutely 100% on the money. I agree
Thank you, my
wholeheartedly.
friend. Well, you could also say Vernon Forrest in his next 2 fights after the 2 fights with Sugar Shane. He fought Mayorga, and Mayorga had his number.
Yep,
Tell you what.
that's true.
So it happens in boxing, guys. It happens. When you have favorable style matchups, some guys are just in your head. Here, listen to this. This is hilarious. I have to address this. Brother Ram Ranch, thank you for visiting the show. Even though you're trolling me. Joseph, how do you feel? Once again, you look stupid predicting Garcia had no chance. Well, guess what? Devin Haney said the same damn thing. We all fell for it, except those who were working with Golden Boy. Rick Glazier, he called me up that day, said, hey, you know what, man? He's playing everybody. Don't be shocked when you see the result of this. He said he's crazy like a fox. And he was right. That's why Oscar and B-Hop were there with their arms crossed, smiling the whole time. They had fun with this promotion because they knew. They knew. And here's another thing. You idiot YouTubers put way too much damn emphasis on a single, like picking the winner. Let me tell you something, brother. A trained monkey has a 50-50 chance of picking a winner in boxing. Now, here's where you can tell where the real intelligence is. Did you predict how it was going to play out, how Ryan was going to win? Did you predict him? Did you predict Devin Haney falling for the very first trap that Ryan Garcia set for him? Jab, 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 hook off the jab. He fell for it. He got hurt with the first left hook landed. Did you predict that? Did you see how the fight was going to play out? That's where you can tell where the real ring IQ is. Because anyone has a 50-50 chance, even someone who doesn't even know either fighter. We've got a 50-50 chance of picking a winner now, don't we? So shut up.
Joseph, did they predict that Devin Haney said through the whole, like everybody, not only Devin Haney, but everybody said only thing Ryan Garcia got is that left hook. Devin Haney said he was prepared for it. Could Devin Haney stop that left hook? Did anybody predict that Devin Haney wasn't going to be able to stop that left hook when he said that was the only punch Ryan Garcia had? And then when he said us picking the fight wrong, 99% of the world picked the fight wrong.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, look. Okay, that's enough for you, dude. So once again, Devin Haney and Bill Haney, boy, they must be idiots and amateurs as well, because they had a terrible analysis. So, hey, brother, off with you. There you go. Erased. So hold on. Joseph did say that if Ryan lands that left hook, Haney could be in trouble. Absolutely. Look, it wasn't a surprise to anyone that Haney doesn't have a great chin. This is why. Why do you think he wanted to stay as long as he possibly could at 35? Doesn't take a mental genius. Oh, you know what? I didn't delete you. I just deleted your comment. I'll put your ass in timeout. How do you like that? Nice knowing you, brother. Alonzo, welcome to the show, sir. 99% of the world. He means America. Most likely, Haney isn't even known nationwide like that. And there it is. And there it is. Let's be real, guys. 99% of the diehard boxing community. And you know what I said also leading up to this? I said, guys, judge slowly. Because you remember what everyone said about Teofimo Lopez before he fought Josh Taylor. Oh, is he even fit to fight? Oh, he's going to self-destruct. He's got no chance. And I said that it wouldn't be the most surprising thing if this played out almost identically to Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. And guess what? Yeah, he beat that ass.
But like you said, Joe, they got the running back, though. It like with this much success. But my only thing is Devin Haney confidence coming back into this fight, Joseph.
Yep.
I want to ask you, where is his confidence coming back into this fight when he thought that he was levels above Ryan Garcia? Where is his confidence coming back into this fight?
Well, look, if he's a real fighter, okay, because let me tell you the mentality of the fighters. Ask Oscar. Whenever someone beat him, he wanted to get that back. He wanted to get that back right away. And look at Emmanuel Stewart. He was Mr. Rematch. Well, let me tell you something. If you don't get that win back, if you don't take away that loss, if you don't beat him immediately, as soon as you can, then you know what? It's not going to be a good look. That's what he thought. And you know what? The longer this lingers, it's going to be bad for Haney. He's a fighter. If he's a real fighter, and look, guys, he's a real fighter. He didn't quit. He kept on trying to fight. Well, he kept on trying to slow dance too. But yeah, he kept on trying to fight. And he never quit. He got his ass whooped. But guess what? He kept on getting up and kept on trying. He's a fighter. These guys are fighters. They're fearless. So I don't want to hear any ducking talk or any bullshit like that, guys. These guys are fearless. All right? And that's why we watch. Otherwise, go watch UFC. Here, check it out. My brother, Sly Tendencies. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for the $5 super chat. Devin Haney weight doesn't matter. Haney. Devin Haney after the fight. I want to fight on an even playing field. Oh, really? Really? This is the guy who balloons up to 65. And he wants a level playing field. Brother, you're lucky they don't take your weight before the fight in New York. Because I can guarantee you he probably weighed more than Ryan Garcia.
That's what I'm hearing, Joseph. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is. But
well,
I'm hearing...
they don't weigh in right before the fight, right? Oh, look at this idiot. He's still trolling me. Look at this moron. Okay. Ban you, brother. Thank you. Thanks for playing, homie. Super ninja. Chingao. Do it like a ninja. Comes flying in the chat. Hold on. Let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat, shall we? Because this is a great morning for boxing, guys. This is a win-win. And hold on, let's go back to Sly Tendencies comment right there. Hold on, let me hear what you have to say. Look at this. After I want to fight on you playing field, you agreed, Devin? Also, horrific game plan. Well, Sly, what game plan? Look, it almost the Mike Tyson rule applies here, right? You know, everyone has a fight plan until they get hit. And that's exactly what we saw, guys. Did you see any game plan whatsoever from Devin Haney? He couldn't
Now,
get he couldn't get out of the way of that left hook. Dude, Ryan, every time he cranked, pumped the jab and then hooked off the jab, it landed almost all the time.
somebody said something in the comments
Oh, I'm sorry.
about
Let me go back to that. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
They said something in the comments about Bill Haney and Devin Haney. I
My
think
apologies.
it was Anthony Mazzano.
Oh, okay. Very good. I'm sorry. Um, was that the one? No,
He
I'm
said,
sorry,
Joe,
guys.
what's your
I'm looking.
thoughts?
Hey, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Welcome to the show, sir. Also, Outlaw Pugilist. Thank you, brother. And guys, if you're late coming in, the numbers are indeed confirmed by Bernard Hopkins and confirmed by matchmaker Robert Tapia. 1.5 million pay-per-view purchases. How do you guys like that?
Mm.
Yeah, isn't
But
that nice? Here
but
it is.
Anthony, oh, you see it?
Yeah, it says, Joe, I've said this multiple times that Bill and Devin trash talking and promising knockouts during promotions was going to come back to bite them in the ass. And it did. Look, this is what I always tell my fighters, right? I like, dude, do not diminish your level of opposition. Because then if you struggle, you're going to look stupid. And I always tell my guys when I'm doing PR for my San Antonio fighters and South Texas fighters, dude, whatever you do, if you're getting interviewed, you give this man respect. Yeah, I'm going to have to train my ass up because this guy can punch. This is a really great fight, and I'm going to be training for the most difficult fight of my career. And when you beat that ass and make it look easy, how does it make you look? And when you trash talk and you get knocked down multiple times, how does it make you look? Yeah, these fighters just don't get it. I think I need to start doing PR again, Corey. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, Oscar came on Devin Haney post and said, "You're not getting a rematch. You're not getting a
Uh,
rematch."
oh,
And
well, yeah, look,
no, but
that's
and I know I
before
get
they
it.
knew the numbers,
Yeah,
right?
no, I get it. But see, this the thing right here, Joe. A lot of people thought Devin Haney lost to Lomachenko,
Of
and
course.
he didn't get Lomachenko a rematch.
No. It wasn't him that didn't give Lomachenko the rematch. No one, well, put it this way, Bob wasn't willing to invest that kind of money and lose it again on pay-per-view because he had to pay just to get Lomachenko that opportunity. He had to pay Devin Haney almost $5 million. And in what universe did he deserve $5 million to fight Lomachenko when he's not a big ticket seller, even in his hometown? He lives in Vegas, you know. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the great majority of the crowd, they were rooting for Lomachenko.
Yeah,
Did you hear the boos when Haney was determined the winner?
yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, that's the only reason why that rematch didn't happen.
And you know the
Because
only. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Arum lost his ass. ESPN lost their ass. That thing only sold 120,000 purchases. So that's it. That's the real
And
reason why the
Joseph,
rematch didn't. It's exact same reason why the Crawford Spence rematch didn't happen.
you,
Because
you
who
know,
the hell's gonna want to pay for that?
yeah, and you know what's crazy though, Joe? Like if this was
Mm-hmm.
like a Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard situation, you know, like when Roberto Duran won the first fight, and then Sugar Ray immediately took the rematch because he knew that Roberto Duran was out there partying and stuff like that. Then I'll give Devin Haney a shot. But see, it ain't gonna be no immediate rematch where Devin Haney can say, "Oh, I want to fight you 90 days later," like Sugar Ray Leonard did. It's gonna be on Ryan Garcia terms.
Oh well, of course, of course. And look, at least now Haney doesn't have to cherry pick anymore, pick and choose favorable style matchups, make some absurd A-side terms for his opponent to adhere to because Euro is gone, dude. Don't worry about that anymore. Just get in the ring and fight. That's it. Look, we need our fighters to stay active. Like, look at Tszyu. He's doing the right thing. Okay? What's the best way to give fans healthy amnesia so they don't focus on a single loss? You get back in that ring and you beat that ass. Right? That's what they used to do in the old days. Hey, let me ask you something, Corey. You're a Texas Rangers fan, right?
Who?
You're a Texas Rangers fan, right?
Oh, absolutely. The world champs,
Okay,
of course.
when they lose a series, two games to one, right? When they lose a series to, let's say they're playing the Cincinnati Reds tonight, my team. Let's say if Cincinnati whoops that ass 2-1, right? 2 games to 1, the Reds win the series.
Yeah.
Are you going to be broken out about it and say, "Oh, dude, the Rangers suck. They're shot."
Oh no, because it's
Well,
so
do you
many
know why?
more series.
Because hey, you play again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So in other sports, they don't have this problem that boxing fans do. And that's the reason why. Because
Hey,
you
Joe.
carry that loss around like luggage and sometimes are inactive for an entire year before you get back in the ring.
I'm glad you brought up Tszyu, and you know, because I like what he's doing too. But Joe, is it dangerous for Tszyu to come back that quick? Because you remember that cut he took on the
No,
top of his.
look, if the doctors, they have to pass physicals, right?
Yeah.
If the doctors see fit to do it, right? And how many times you get cracked on the top of the head like that? How many times are you going to be fighting the Jolly Green Giant at
Yeah, but
54 pounds? That's an anomaly. Look, my point is that's not what you should be worried about if you're Tszyu and his people. What you should be worried is that badass marauder of 54, Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Yeah, but
That's what you got to be worried about.
Yeah, that's
Holy
true.
cow, dude.
But that's true though, Joe. But when I look at Tszyu, I definitely got to favor him in that matchup because it's one thing you said about David Haney. That's exactly what Virgil Ortiz been doing his entire career. He been picking the fights that get
That's
him
it.
by instead of taking on stiff competition. Like we can go down and look, resumes don't mean that much to me anymore. But I'm
No, they don't
saying
mean shit.
like if you look at the competition that he's taken,
Yeah.
like, I don't think he's going to beat Tszyu because I don't think he's been groomed enough. Look, Virgil Ortiz possibly could, but I don't think he's
Well,
been groomed enough. Like, I think he's ready for this moment, but I think Tszyu is going to be the winner come
well,
August the
I'll
3rd.
tell you what, both men are going to have their chin tested or chin checked. But I will say this, boy, that Virgil Ortiz jab is something special. And I can promise you this, Tszyu has never seen anything like that. And he's never felt that kind of power. Dude, if he thought Terrell Gaucher could punch, come on now. Come on. Look, I'll say this. Listen to this. Virgil Ortiz is overrated. Okay, that's your opinion, brother.
No,
We
he's not
will find out,
overrated.
right? Look, this guy, Virgil Ortiz, he's a future pound for pound badass if he can stay healthy. You probably were thinking that Bam Rodriguez was overrated too, weren't you? Shit.
Oh, no, I know Bama too.
No, not you, my friend. I'm talking about small fry over here. This guy, man, he's a hot guy. Okay, whatever you say, brother.
No, I
I'm
don't think
feeling
Virgil is a
saucy
hype
today,
job.
brother.
No, I don't want people to think I think Virgil is a hype job. I grew up with Virgil in the amateurs. I watched him
Oh,
dominate the
outstanding fighter.
amateurs and come to dominate the pros. But it's just like Virgil have been through a lot in his career, you know, with the injuries, with the sickness, um, him not being able to have his full capabilities thus far in his career. Because if we look at the Virgil Ortiz, I mean, God's the planner, but we know that he should have been further along than where he's at right now. And
Yeah.
I look, I know Virgil could fight, Joe. Like, but I don't know if Virgil is groomed enough and ready for a fighter like Tszyu. Because I don't care what nobody say. Tszyu, them first 2 rounds was putting
Oh,
a
yeah.
whooping on Sebastian Fundora. And
Yeah, he
I
was.
truly believe he was gonna stop Sebastian Fundora in that fight until
He
that
may have. He may have, and that's probably why he wants to jump back in the ring so quickly. He wants to, once again, give fans that healthy amnesia. Hey, man, that was a fluke. I'm going to prove to you guys I'm the baddest dude at 54. I'm sorry. Did someone say Terrence Crawford? Woo! Look. Here, one more time. Correa, please repeat the pay-per-view number, sir.
Yeah, man. From my source, Bernard Hopkins, I asked him, is it true that the $1.5 million pay-per-views that's circulating around Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, is that true? And he said 100%.
Okay, so and I didn't even talk to Correa until this morning, right? And what did you tell me when you first called? Hey man, did you hear what the pay-per-view numbers were? What did I say? My
You
guy
said,
Robert Tapia,
yep,
matchmaker, said it was 1.5 million. He goes, "Yep." And there it
yep.
is.
But
1.5
it
million
ain't even
from
that.
two
It's
guys who
just
work
like
with
right
Golden
after the
Boy.
fight. I remember right after the fight, um, we was talking and you said that you heard that it did over $1 million.
Yeah, it was tracking really well. And I said, look, from what people have told me immediately following the fight that work with Golden Boy, they said it is tracking extremely well. And this did much better than expected.
So, Joe, you made a statement, off air to me that I want you to make on air to the people right here because I thought it was a great assessment
You
of what
want
you
me to
said.
make fun of Electro Hippo's mother?
No.
No, I'm sorry. As you were correct. Go ahead, dude.
No, I thought it was a great assessment. You said the reason why this fight did so good is because of Ryan Garcia antics and would him
Well,
speaking
he
in
made
God
this.
and
I'll tell you
Christian.
why. Yes, he turned this into, he understands. You could tell he watches the news. He knows that there is currently in America, and it's an election year, a spiritual and cultural battle between red and blue. You've got liberals versus conservatives, and they are vicious, brother. You think boxing fans are vicious? Ching out, dude. They look like Mr. Rogers compared to these guys talking politics. Listen to old crazy Al Bernstein. You know what? I believe that abortion is good. Oh my gosh. You know what? I think there are 100 different genders here in America. Yeah, okay. Got it. And conservatives like, man, let me tell you, there's a man and a woman. That's it. You look, if I say that I feel like being a donkey today, that doesn't make me a donkey. So you've got those two clashes, right? Conservatives and liberals, and they will fight to the death because they truly believe in their soul that they're right. And so Ryan took advantage of that with him being the child of Christ, right? And him always professing his faith every chance he can on every single broadcast he does live. Yeah, he said, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this. And I'm going to stoke their fire. And it was crazy leading up to the bout. You saw conservative news channels and religious YouTube channels talking about Ryan Garcia, and it had nothing to do with boxing. It was a stroke of genius.
But I
It was
think
a
you
stroke
really
of
feel
genius.
like that though too, though, Joe.
Yeah.
I think,
Ryan truly believes that.
and let
Yeah.
me ask you a question, Joe, because and I also think why it's such mind-boggling, and why I think this is gonna do even better, like for him, like with any fight he get going forward, is because, like I said, the diehard boxing fans, in your voice, the real bosses of boxing, we didn't give Ryan Garcia a chance to win this fight. And with him doing the unthinkable and making all the non-believers into believers, I think this is astronomical for him going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? This is like I said, the world is currently his oyster. Like the sky's the limit for this kid as
Hey,
long as he keeps his head on straight, right?
yep.
So hold on. What is this, Alonzo? Joseph, not La Raza Heron, is not a Mexican name. Stop it. Okay. Well, look. My mother's maiden name is Alvarado, right? Mercedes Alvarado. My dad's name is Gary Heron. Is that okay? Is that Hispanic enough for you, my friend?
Hey, Joseph,
Jeez.
didn't you call that
These
fight at the
boxing
Dave and
fans are
Buster's?
crazy, dude.
Didn't you call that fight at the Dave and Buster's?
Oh, no, I had to leave. I was getting claustrophobic, man.
Say,
I had to
somebody,
leave early.
HLD just said Dave and Buster's alone accounts for 361 pay-per-view buys.
No. Actually, it's only, you can't count them because it's not like the way it used to be. They don't pay per fire marshal capita like the old bars used to do. Boxing is getting smart now. You know why Dana White usually fills the bars with UFC events? Because they don't pull that shit. Like, I remember when I was working in college, I was working at a bar and they showed, I think it was my senior year, I was working at a place called T-Town in San Antonio. And they were showing Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield 1. And they went by the fire marshal's capacity, the old cable system. They wanted to milk every single penny from the diehard fans. And that's why boxing started to dwindle, because they kept trying to do that. And it just became it wasn't cost effective to put fights in bars anymore. So now that everything's on an app, DAZN, all you have to do is just pay for it once and show it on that big jumbotron in Dave and Buster's. So logically, 1.5 million purchases. Let's just be honest, guys. This probably had a live audience a lot closer to 10 or 12 million, like an NBA final game or something. Let's just be honest. Because think about how many people illegally stream this motherfucker. I'm sorry, pardon my French, guys. Think about how many guys pirated this. This is how bad piracy is, guys. So this is why 1.5 is incredible. Because think about this, with Fury versus Wilder 2. You remember how well that was promoted on two different networks, Fox and ESPN? They had that great press conference that looked like the NFL on Fox. Do you remember that? How much money? A Super Bowl commercial even. They had Tyson Fury going over to the Sugar Bowl in Atlanta. Do you remember that? Promoting that fight? Guess what? It only did 875,000 purchases. Do you know how many people illegally streamed that event worldwide? Worldwide. And they tracked it. Fox wanted to see how many people were stealing it if boxing was a wise investment. And they tracked it using the music service. I think it's called TuneUp or Musio. They used the music tracking service, right? And over 15 million people worldwide streamed it illegally, and only 875,000 in the States purchased it legally. That's what a big problem is in boxing at this time, piracy. That's what a big problem piracy is. So now think about how much more impressive that is to get 1.5 million pay-per-view purchases. Think about how impressive that is. It was impressive last year. I guess we can safely say now that Ryan versus Tank was no fluke last year. And here's why Ryan is such a superstar. Because he appeals to a large mainstream and casual demographic. People who usually don't watch boxing are going to tune into Ryan and be interested.
Who's the biggest star, Joe? Ryan or Tank?
I'm going to tell you right now, after this, that's Ryan Garcia. Tank versus Frank Martin will be lucky to do 500,000.
Man, I heard from a credible source, that it'll be lucky to do 200K. That's what I heard.
You know what? It depends on how it's promoted. I think Benavidez gives it that extra push. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it only did 200,000, because let's just face it. Frank Martin's a great fighter. In fact, fun fact, guys, in the Golden Gloves at 45 in the amateurs, Frank Martin beat Virgil Ortiz in the finals.
That's a
fun fact. So Frank Martin can fight, but let's just face it, guys. He couldn't sell out my living room on a Saturday night.
Oh, couldn't. Oh, my God. You're talking about a guy personality that's shocked.
Oh, boy.
He probably at the top of that list.
Yeah, he's about as fun as a stick to listen to, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's just like with Gervonta, He ain't coming out promoting the fight. He coming out talking about Floyd Mayweather being stuck in Dubai because he owed money.
Yeah, well, let's look, guys. That's another show entirely. Free Floyd Mayweather. Free Floyd. Free Floyd. Look, I couldn't care less. And who cares? Like, dude, he's still on the tongue of or on front page news if you're looking at X. Everyone's still talking about that bullshit convoluted, contrived effort with Bill Haney. So he could be in Dubai, he could be in Japan. As soon as he says something controversial, everyone starts talking about it. And quite honestly, I'm sick of it. Sit your ass down, Floyd. But hey, look, toughest G. Tank Davis or Frank Martin is a good fight style. Look, I will say this. Toughest, this will prove to be Tank Davis's most difficult assignment to date.
You think so, Joe?
I know so. Frank Martin is as close to a complete fighter as he's ever faced. Look, Frank Martin, this is why I'm saying, why the hell didn't he fight Shakur Stevenson for that WBC title? That is a special kind of stupid. Look, if Frank Martin is good enough to beat Virgil Ortiz in the amateurs and floored him in the process, yeah, he's a special fighter, guys. But, dude, quit hanging out with Errol Spence because his personality is starting to rub off on you. Ching Gao. Dude, Spence? No, man, I paid Derek James everything that I own. Dude, he sounds like the brother version of Slowpoke Rodriguez. Don't you think?
and another man, speaking of Errol Spence, man.
Uh-oh. Hey, remember we were just talking about that and they broke the news right after I said that.
Yep. Speaking of him, man, I think it's a good thing. Never mind, I'm not gonna even speak on that.
No. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to speak on it because I don't want to say I'm disingenuous or insensitive, in no type of way. I just don't. I just didn't like it, so I'm gonna just keep it at that. You know, I don't want to speak on it.
Dude, I respect that, sir. You mean you're not like old man Joseph Herron who doesn't have a filter. That's what you're saying?
No, I don't got no
Dude.
filter. It's just that, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know how to take, that video clip that came out. It was a great gesture.
What video clip?
The video clip of Earl going to give the guy his last wish.
That was actually beautiful. That was
No,
beautifully done.
it was beautiful. But the only thing that I didn't like
He was slurring though
no,
bad,
not
man.
like that. He asked, "What's his name?" When he got to the door, you don't know
Oh
his
yeah, I
name
remember that. Yeah.
before you get to the door. But it was still great for him to do. But
Well,
you know.
look. He's taken some lumps. Give him a break. He's taken some
No,
lumps.
I ain't
He
giving him
took
no
some
break.
serious
No,
punishment in
Earl
his
don't
last fight.
deserve no break. He don't deserve no break, Joe.
Oh,
You know, I'm gonna tell you why he don't deserve no
boo!
break. Because real fighters don't run from it; they run to it. Real fighters don't say, "Oh, I'm taking a rematch," and then come up and then start waving the white flag, and then come out and say the reason why bro was hitting me with them jabs and them hooks because I had to get my cataracts done. Then the
Oh,
rematch is
well.
over with. No,
Look.
Joe, he gets no sympathy. Then it's coming out now saying
Yeah.
that he didn't pay his trainer, bro, because he was in his feelings because he lost the fight. So no, he gets no.
Okay, so
No.
now, Cray, it's my turn to say, talk that shit.
No. And then this is the thing. This is another thing that rubbed me the wrong way with Errol Spence. He know damn well Crawford in line to fight the winner of the Fundora and Tim Tszyu,
Well,
and
look, Cray.
no. This is
That
what I'm saying. No. This what rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't know if it was gonna happen or not. But Earl put up a post talking about I'm coming to Vegas. I want the winner. And then he gonna get in the
look,
real
Cray. I'll tell you why. Because one, Terrence Crawford, he had no intention of working with PBC, and PBC had no intention of working with him. That had nothing to do with Errol Spence.
No, I know, no, I get that. I ain't saying that. This is my thing that rubbed me the wrong way with him, right? Because we know he threw up the white flag against Terrence Crawford, but the nerve, Joseph, the audacity
Yeah.
of this dude to step in the ring, pound his chest, and say the big dog back when we know Terrence Crawford is his daddy. The audacity of him, Joseph.
Woo! Hey, brother, I have no comment on that.
And another thing
I'm
is,
speechless after that,
like,
brother.
look at Terrence Crawford now. The Bible say the last is to be first, if you believe in the Bible, right? Look at Terrence Crawford now. Look what he's
Mm-hmm.
doing in the Ryder season with your excellently Turkish, however you say it. Let me just call him your excellency.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, now look at him. He's finna fight in this arena that holds 25,000 fans on one of the best cards we've ever seen in a long time. Look at Terrence Crawford
It's beautiful.
now.
Yep. I love it. I
And
love it,
somebody talking
man.
about 619, Planet 619, talking about sound like it's a bit personal. No, it's no. Nothing personal. We just stating facts. Facts, sir. So let me school you, right? So I want you to tell me this. When Errol Spence had all them 28 victories he had, wasn't he coming out taking the picture, click, click, all in the videos, doing all the interviews and stuff? When he lost to Terrence Crawford, he went quiet as a mouse. We didn't hear from Errol Spence no more. But when he was giving all them beatings out, we heard from him. No, you got to keep that same energy when you're winning as when you're losing. That's why I can give Bill Haney his respect, whether you like Bill Haney or not. Bill Haney ain't running from the cameras. He running to the cameras. He keeping that same energy when he was winning as when he lost. He didn't run and disappear like Errol Spence did. We didn't see this dude for months. We didn't hear from him for months. Right?
Well,
So we got to hold him accountable for that. I don't care if he took that loss. Everybody take losses. We take losses every day in life, bro. But your true character is going to show how you handle yourself after you take a loss. That's what show who you really are.
guys, and there it is. He's here all week. Hooray, Bradshaw. Woo! That was fun. Tell us how you really feel, Corey. But look, guys, I understand exactly what Corey's saying. But now talk about an ass whooping. If you thought Haney's was tough, Spence, that was a potential career alt. Like, honestly, I don't know if he's saying, you know what? I would rather get in the car wreck again than face Terrence Crawford. But I understand. Look, Terrence Crawford, that guy lives the Spartan lifestyle. He's a Trojan. He's a warrior. He's a Zulu. Whatever a warrior you want to call him, that's Terrence. This guy, like, what? Okay, Toughest G says this. He says this. Don't sleep on Israel Madrimov. Look, Terrence Crawford, he doesn't sleep on anyone.
Sure don't.
Oh, I tell you what, it could be ping pong, and he would be preparing all week for a ping pong game. That's what a competitor and a winner Terrence Crawford is. He lives the Spartan lifestyle. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't party, doesn't do any of that shit. He is all business, and that's why he is the best fighter in boxing. That guy's an all-time great. And Spence, well, that lifestyle catches up to you, brother. Doesn't it, Corey?
Oh, it definitely do. And like I said, he got away with it for a long time. And I'm not gonna blame it on this lifestyle, right? I'm not gonna do that because this guy was undefeated going into that fight, right? This
Okay, I
guy
will then.
no. Let me tell you why I'm not gonna
No.
do that.
It's
Because
all TC. It's
so
all
look,
TC.
this is the thing right here, Joseph. Right? You know Spence's greatest victory to me? It ain't him winning no world championships. It's him coming back after that horrific accident, coming in there, fighting Danny
Danny
Garcia,
Garcia.
and
Yeah,
beating
you
him
were
from
there, weren't you?
pillar. Yes, beating him from pillar to post. That was his
Mm-hmm.
most incredible victory to me. Then coming back, beating a guy in Ugas who had just beat Manny Pacquiao. So
Yep.
I'm not going to blame it on the lifestyle because
No.
this guy never missed weight. He was all in shape, and he came back like
Look.
nothing never changed. He just ran into that juggernaut. And when we talk about a
Yeah.
juggernaut, we talking about Terrence Bud Crawford. See,
Yep.
everybody know I'm from Dallas, Texas. Everybody know that I was going from Errol Spence. But what I will not do, well, look, this is what happened with me. I was on the wrong side of the history, thinking who was going to win the fight. But I'm not going to be on the wrong side of history, giving a person their gratitude and their respect. I'm not going to be like none of these sissy Earl Spence fans who want to make up these excuses
Yeah.
talking about, oh, he was high, oh, he was drunk, oh, he was weight drained. No, you guys sound like sissies. Because if that was the case, Earl Spence been talking about his weight for a long time. He could have moved up to 154, but not even them talking about his weight. Earl Spence put up pictures. He knocked down Kell Brook door. He knocked down Sean Porter door. He knocked down Uga's door, and he said Terrence Crawford was the next. So don't make excuses. Don't act like a bunch of little sissies and a bunch of little punks. Just give credit what credit is due.
Woo! Man, I saw some smoke coming out of there, brother.
No, I'm just
Holy
saying though.
shit.
They're just like when this Fury and Usyk fight come up. I'm really looking forward to that, right? And Joseph, but
Mhm.
before I get into that, what's your thoughts on Usyk versus Fury, and who do you got winning that fight?
Oh boy. Look, I'll let you know at the weigh-in. But look, I don't want to call that one because I'm a little too close to that situation. And
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm I'm not looking at this with an unbiased lens. And I'll admit that. And so I'm going to restrain from calling this fight. But in my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight. But I'm pulling for my man Tyson Fury because of my brother Javen Sugar Hill Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dear
Yeah.
friend of mine, and I love the guy. And it's about damn time he starts getting his respect as one of the elite trainers of boxing. Shoot. Dude, it took him almost a decade, man, to get some respect around here.
Yeah. See, us as
But
humans
so
is
I don't want to call it, but I will say this. If Tyson Fury is still Tyson Fury of old, not an old Tyson Fury, then oof, you have to favor Tyson Fury. The
yeah.
height, the reach, the ambidextrous, the switch hitting. If his timing is sharp and if his footwork is on point and his conditioning is on point, he's going to be very difficult to beat.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
care. I look, but Usyk, that guy is sick. He's so
Man.
good. His
Ooh,
footwork, his
ooh,
his hand speed for a fighter. Like
ooh.
honestly, his ring IQ is off the charts. He is like a heavyweight version of Vasil Lomachenko.
Man, hey, say, listen to me. So, look, I'm not gonna be one of them guys who switch their picks. I've been riding with Tyson Fury, and I'm gonna stay with Tyson Fury. But it's only
Well,
human
you know what
nature,
I
right?
think? Like I said, I can't pick this fight because I'm going to
No,
be rooting. I'm going to be uncharacteristically cheering for someone that night,
yeah, but
right?
it's
Because
only,
that's my
but
brother. That's my brother Javen.
yeah, and my thing is like I'm not gonna change my pick. I'm gonna stand on it. But like it's only human nature, and we all humans, right? And we all, got the right to change our
Nobody's
mind,
perfect.
but as the fight get closer and you start really dissecting the fight, your mind starts to try to play tricks on you a little bit to where you looking at that other guy in Usyk, and you see how special and how gifted he is, not only with his footwork, but with his, with his scenario of punches that he could
Yeah.
throw. And when you see a guy like
Well,
Tyson Fury, right, a
hmm
guy, who didn't look that good in his last fight, and you can't judge a man by his last fight, but that's what we got to judge
he
Tyson
looked like
Fury by.
shit. Let's just be
by
honest. He looked like,
yeah,
honestly, I know that he didn't train for that fight like he says he did because he didn't want to retract after that terrible, embarrassing performance. But if he did train, he resembled a shot fighter. Now, how did Deontay Wilder look in his last fight?
He looked
He
horrible.
looked like shit. He looked like
Yeah.
he was afraid to get hit. He
Yeah.
looked like his chin turned to glass after those 2 fights with Tyson Fury. And that's why he fights that way now, because he looks like he's afraid to get hit. Tyson Fury, you know what? Look, he's in much better shape now, and Javen insists that he's looking sharp already, heading into the home stretch of camp, getting ready for this fight in May 18th. But look, he looked like a shot fighter against Ngannou. Let's just hope that it's a product of him not training properly and not him being a shot fighter. Because if that's the case, he's going to get carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey. But if Fury is still Tyson Fury, the guy who whooped that ass on Deontay Wilder, if he's still that guy, then Usyk's going to have a serious problem with the Tyson Fury jab and that ridiculous, consistent Paulie Malignaggi type feinting movement. He feints with his feet, feints with his head, feints with his jab, feints with his shoulder. You don't know when Tyson Fury is going to let his hands go. That's why Deontay Wilder couldn't time him as he was coming in when he was working behind the jab. The only time he caught him as he was coming in was when Tyson Fury forgot to use the jab. So if Tyson Fury works behind that intelligent jab in which he mixes feints, touch jabs, and hard sticking jabs to the body, chest, and head in different intervals, something Errol Spence needs to learn, by the way. If he does that effectively, Usyk will not be able to time him like a clock.
Now, and that's a great point, Joe. I wholeheartedly agree with you on your assessment that you made with Tyson Fury. But when I look at Usyk, I look at a guy that this is the best fighter that Tyson Fury has ever faced. He might not have the best power, but he showed you that he can pack a punch if he
Well,
deliver.
look, he's doesn't punch like a cruiserweight anymore, does he? He's put
Nope.
on muscle, and he's gained that strength, that heavyweight strength, the right way, gradually over time. I will say this though: the reason why Usyk befuddled Anthony Joshua, everyone's talking about Anthony Joshua. Oh, he's gotten so much better. No, he's just fought lesser opposition. Come on now, guys. Ngannou, come on. Chingao. Look,
No,
but look, Usyk's the reason why he was so effective against Anthony Joshua because of the same thing that Fury does. He uses that consistent feinting motion, and he freezes you. If you're a counterpuncher, you don't know when he's going to get off. Tyson Fury doesn't have that problem. He can be assertive. We've all seen that. He can box you from mid to long range. He can use lateral movement. This is going to be a chess match with two masters if both men are in proper shape.
Yeah, and I agree. Like I said, I agree 100%. Like the only reason why I give Usyk a better chance than anybody else that Tyson Fury has is because of not only his foot movement, his precision, and his accuracy. Right, we seen Tyson Fury get hurt by way smaller guys who didn't know how to finish or who didn't know how to throw the right placement of punches.
Oh, you know what? You're right. We saw him all get hurt on Fox by Steve Cunningham.
Yep. And
He
with
was hurt.
Usyk, yeah, and with Usyk, like if Usyk gets you hurt, Joseph, tell me if I'm right or wrong because you've been in this business longer than me. And like I say, when I first got in this game, you was one of the ones who mentored me and showed me a lot about boxing and how to look at it in a different way and give it a different perspective. Not saying that I was looking at it wrong, you just broadened my vision in seeing it. Do you look at Usyk as a guy? If he's in a Steve Cunningham situation, if he hurt
Look,
Fury, will he be able to get Fury out of there with his excellent punch placement and his IQ of knowing what to do?
well, I think that has more to do with Fury. because look, we've seen Fury hurt, and no one's been able to do it yet. He's very resilient. He's a very proud guy. Look, I will say this. I will say this, guys. Hold on, let me pull this. Okay, Jerusalem Jim. Fury, a master? Oh, I got to disagree. Well, look, don't pay attention to any of the press, because anyone who outboxes Vladimir Klitschko from start to finish, yeah, you're pretty good. Okay, keep in mind that guy was a reigning heavyweight champion for like 11 years before Tyson Fury fought him and beat him. Okay, keep in mind he's a chameleon, Jim. He's a chameleon. We know he can box, but he also proved that he can be assertive under the tutelage of Sugar Hill. Okay, he added that new wrinkle. He actually taught him to sit down on his shots. Now he can actually punch. But he has to be in shape. He has to be dedicated. We haven't seen that guy in quite some time. So I have to see it to believe it. But I believe in my brother Javen. Sugar Hill, one of the elite, one of the best fighters in boxing, or best trainers in boxing, does everything exactly like Emmanuel Stewart. Even sounds like him in the corner sometimes.
He do. And Joseph,
so look, go ahead, sir.
I want to ask you another question, right? Because I'm real high on this guy at 135. He's with Matchroom, and he has a fight coming up real soon in Andy Cruz.
Andy Cruz,
how high of a ceiling do you have for him? And do you because Eddie Hearn's saying that this guy's ready for a world championship in like 3 or 4 fights. What's your thoughts on Andy Cruz? What's your thoughts on Andy Cruz?
At 35? Or is he already moving up to 40?
No, 35. He at 35.
Okay. Look, he's got excellent skill. But look, unless he sits down on his shots and learns how to really punch, I don't think he has the power to keep a guy like William Zepeda off of him. I don't. Sorry. And I definitely don't think he beats Tank Davis. Sorry.
What about Keyshawn?
Oh, dude, yeah. Look, if Keyshawn can stay in the gym and quit smoking that loco weed, then sure. No. And look, Cruz is a special fighter, and he's got that deep amateur background. That's why they're accelerating him so quickly, right? But look how much talent is in the lightweight division, brother. Well, first of all, who's your favorite lightweight fighter? Keep in mind, I don't even think Andy Cruz beats Frank Martin right now. Do you?
Yeah, you don't think he beat Martin?
Hell no. I think it's a great fight. I think Andy Cruz is a tough outing for anyone. But that's what I'm saying. If you can't punch at the world-class level, you're going to have a very difficult time keeping guys off of you, especially if you fight and you've got the engine of a William Zepeda, who trains in the high altitude of Mexico in the mountains. He trains with Coach Panda. He runs like, have you noticed that William Zepeda, you notice he fights a lot like Subriel Matias?
Yep.
You know why? They're stablemates. They both train in the same gym by Coach Panda.
Is Zepeda a tough fight for Shakur? I think so. I would favor Shakur, but I think Zepeda is a very tough fight. I'm not going to sleep on him.
Zepeda's a tough fight for anyone, but Zepeda also has the style. But that's the problem, though. Can Shakur punch? Can he actually get his respect to keep Zepeda off of him?
Because you know Zepeda gonna be right there all night, Joe. He gonna be in Shakur's face all night.
Yeah, that's my point, Corey. If you can't hurt Zepeda, you're gonna have a tough day at the office.
But the one thing I learned about
let's go back to Andy Cruz, right?
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, like check this. No, keep going. And as soon as you're finished, I'm going to rattle off the lightweight top 10. And you go ahead, sir.
The one thing I learned about you, learned about this boxing game, right? Because like I say, I ain't finna be no guy who think I know everything, especially coming across a guy like you who been doing this 30 plus years, almost 30 plus years, right? You schooled me on speed is power, right? Now with Shakur being as accurate as he is, as Zepeda, we know the type of motor he got. And Zepeda is very smart. People don't give him enough credit for being an intelligent
He
pressure
has
fighter.
improved. Yeah, he has improved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So will
Well,
Shakur's
look, I will say
speed
this.
with
Oh,
power
go
be
ahead, sir.
enough to
I'm
keep
sorry.
Zepeda up off of him?
I don't know. That's what makes it such an intriguing fight because, yes, Shakur Stevenson is a sharpshooter and he's so good at controlling range, but he's never fought anyone who's going to push him the way Zepeda will. That is a great fight. That's peanut butter and jelly. I will say this, though. He's got the style, unlike Edwin De Los Santos, that's going to force Shakur to stand in the pocket and fight. He's going to earn his keep that night, and he's going to be tested. But he's like, honestly, Zepeda has the style to bring out the best in Shakur. That's why everyone wants to see that. But here, let me rattle off the top 10 lightweight fighters right now, okay? Vasily
Okay.
Lomachenko. Does Andy Cruz beat Vasily Lomachenko, in your opinion?
No. No, I can't say that
Okay.
right now.
Let's move on. Gervonta Tank Davis. Or whatever the hell he's calling himself now.
Let me go back to Vasily Lomachenko with Andy Cruz because I'm really high on Andy Cruz, Joseph. I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree with you that he
Oh,
has
for
some
good
things that
reason. He is
he
razor
got some
sharp,
things he
man.
need to work on, like you said. He need to learn how to sit down on his punches because as skillful as he is, if Andy Cruz will learn down to sit down on his punches, he'll be able to get the fighters he face out of there easier, right? So I don't know with Lomachenko because Lomachenko is a little older. Lomachenko done been in some wars. And I want everybody to know, Lomachenko ain't the same Lomachenko he used to be when he first came into fighting. This is a guy who done been in a lot of fights, plus his amateur career. And everybody know about boxing. Nothing lasts forever. It's gonna always be that young guy, and that young guy who has the ingredients, the resume from the amateurs, the Olympic experience, being a gold medalist with Andy Cruz. So I think I would favor Andy Cruz to beat Vasily Lomachenko right now.
Wow. I tell you what, it's an interesting fight. Let's move on to the next one. Tank Davis, Andy Cruz. Who wins?
See, the reason why, I would favor taking that fight, but see, this the thing right here where I give Andy Cruz a real great chance, right? Because his boxing,
It'll force Gervonta out of the pocket and be the
yes,
aggressor, right?
his boxing
Mm-hmm.
ability is impeccable. And he's a very smart fighter in Andy Cruz. So he's not gonna throw the same thing 3 times in a row like a Ryan Garcia would, and Tank will be able to read that, But let's give now in hindsight, Ryan Garcia, Tank did give him a lot of obstacles, but that's neither here nor there because, like we saying about Devin Haney signed up for the fight, Ryan Garcia signed up for the fight.
Look,
But I would
I'll
favor
say
taking that fight.
this. Okay, look, I'll say this. You know who doesn't win that fight? The fucking fans. Oh my gosh, Gervonta Davis is not beneath stinking out the joint and giving away rounds just to force his guy to fight his fight. And we know how Cubans fight. Andy Cruz. Oh, dude, you're looking at 2 counterpunchers just staring at each other. They're waiting for their opponent to get off first. That's going to be about as exciting as watching grass grow. In my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Could I ask you a question before we move
It's going
on?
to resemble, look, that fight would resemble Austin Trout versus Andy Lara. That's how bad it would be. It would stink out the joint, and I hope it never happens. But next one, we already talked about Shakur versus Andy Cruz. That's a very good fight, and that's a tough one. William Zepeda, we already talked about that. Let's go to the next one. Oh, boy. George Kambosos Jr. versus Andy Cruz. Can we say Devin Haney Part 3? Chingao. Frank Martin versus Andy Cruz. That is a tough fight and a great style matchup.
It is.
I love this fight. And in fact, I think it's a coin flip because let's just face it, Frank Martin, He's a complete fighter, but he's not really, he's still adding that new wrinkle, working on that, fine-tuning, being the effective aggressor. But I will say this, though. It was brilliant matchmaking by Top Round to season him before he fought the top opposition. Like the fact that he had to take the lead against his last 3 opponents, Jackson Martinez, I don't remember his name, Haratunian, and gosh, who else did he fight that he had to take the lead? Nonetheless, it was brilliant that Tom Brown actually seasoned him while he was coming up in the 10-round stage. And now he's ready. He is much more proficient at taking the lead. So that's a great fight. Next one, I love this one, brother. And I think Andy Cruz, because of the style matchup, gets his ass whooped. Raymond Murataya.
That's a good fight, Joe.
That's a great fight. But
That's
I
a great
think
fight.
Raymond Murataya, because of his power and his deceptive timing and hand speed, is so good, man. I you know what? If he cannot hurt and get the respect of Raymond Murataya, I think Raymond Murataya gets it. I love Raymond Murataya. I cannot wait to see him in the ring again. Keyshawn Davis.
I would favor Andy Cruz in that fight, right?
I would too.
Because
Let's
this
move
just
on
go
because
back
we're
to the
running out of
amateurs.
time, brother. Let's
Okay,
move
go
on
ahead.
because we're running out of time. Dennis Baranchik.
Oh, Andy Cruz.
Indeed. now Dennis Baranchik would look silly. And he's a warrior, man. I love watching Dennis Baranchik fight. He lets his balls hang in the ring, right? But, oh, yeah, that's a terrible style matchup for him. Andy Cruz would carve him up like a Thanksgiving turkey.
What about Kid Austin? Floyd Kid Austin in your hometown?
Floyd Schofield? Boy, he's not
Yep.
ready for Andy Cruz. He is
What's your
nowhere
thoughts? What's your
near
thoughts on
ready
him,
for
Joe?
Andy Cruz, brother.
What's your thoughts
Look,
on Kid Austin? I'm high on him.
Look, I'm frustrated because my brother Ronnie Shields, okay, he's managed by Mike Miller, the best attorney in boxing, right? From San Antonio. And he is supposed to be trained by Ronnie Shields, but no, he trains at Davies. And he trains at Boxers and Brawlers in San Antonio. Why wouldn't you go up and train with an elite level trainer like Ronnie Shields, where you can get the best sparring in boxing? Instead, Ronnie's just there on fight night. Nah, I work pads with him. That's about it. Like, dude, why is his dad insist on being head trainer? He isn't learning shit. He's got the natural athleticism. I love how mature this kid is mentally. He's a good kid, but he's not progressing the way he should be. He needs to go train with Ronnie Shields and in the Sugarland gym. And those are my thoughts on Floyd Schofield. In my opinion, Andy Cruz makes him look silly.
Wow.
Yeah. Come on, guys. I mean, look, the lightweight division very well may be the best and most competitive division in boxing. It's stacked, the top 15. But, guys, let's face it, Andy Cruz is a special fighter. He just, if he could punch, he would be scary. Right?
Hey, can I ask you one more thing about Andy Cruz?
Yes, sir.
Do you think Bozy Ennis is the right trainer for Andy Cruz?
Yes, I do. Bozy Ennis is, dude, he is a smart guy. That guy is an excellent trainer. He is one of the rare guys. He is one of the rare trainers who can teach how to control range from any distance. He can teach you how to fight from long range. He can teach you how to fight from mid range. He can actually teach you how to fight in the pocket. Do you know how few trainers can actually teach that lost art? Bozy is a complete badass old school trainer. That guy's the real deal, brother.
So that means you high on Jaron Ennis.
Does a bear shit in the woods? Woo!
You think he's the absolute real deal?
Well, look, Don Chargan once told me, and all of his all of his tutelage, all of his knowledge. Gosh, he was always right, man. Don was a geyser of knowledge. And he would always tell me, and let me tell you the story he told me about Golden Boy, right? I'm going to tell you this story real quick before he bid everyone an excellent afternoon, right? Don told me, well, Oscar and Eric, they were really high on this prospect that they had, and they got him from Top Rank. And I had never seen him fight before, but they insisted that he was the next Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And I said, well, what's his name? Oh, his name is Virgil Ortiz, man. He's got knockout power, and he's converted southpaw like Oscar, and he's just amazing. And he goes, well, how's his chin? Oh, well, we've never seen it. He's that good. And he goes, well, Oscar, don't get too high on a prospect until you see how well he can take a punch from a world-class puncher. And guess what fighter Don was watching that night? He was ringside for Marcos Maidana. And guess what? We found out that Victor Ortiz doesn't have a world-class beard. You can look the part. You can be you can be mowing through competition, but unless we see how well he can take a punch from a world-class puncher, judge slowly, guys. How about J-Rock, for instance? You remember how good he looked moving up the 54-pound ladder until he fought Charlo? How about Erickson Lubin? Boy, he looked amazing moving up that 54-pound ladder, and then he ran into Charlo. And then we found out very quickly, judge slowly. Okay, judge slowly on any prospect. Don't get too high on any prospect until you see how well he can take a punch. I know he's an IBF champion currently, but he didn't have to beat anyone to become that champion. So the verdict's still out on Jaron Ennis, but
he looked
the eye test.
He looked
the eye test. Yeah, he looks amazing. Like, honestly, he looks damn near perfect. He looks like a more athletic version of Terrence Crawford. Be still my heart. In fact, he fights more proficiently on the inside than Terrence Crawford.
Do we, Joe?
Yes, he does. But
let me ask you this question, Joe.
Go ahead.
Why did he struggle with Karen like that then?
Who?
Karen. It was this. His name was Karen.
What do you mean struggle?
Like, that was a tough fight for him to figure it out.
No. Look, that guy didn't want to fight. He was just moving around. Look, Jaron Ennis, he hadn't been used to cutting off the ring and closing the distance effectively. He never had to. And that's what the excuse me, guys. That's what the 4, 6, and 8 round levels are for. I think that was his first 10-round fight?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. No, Victor Ortiz. Did I say Virgil? I'm sorry. If I said Virgil, boy, no. Virgil, we've already seen his chin tested against Cavallasquez. No, I was telling the story about Don Chargan and Victor Ortiz fighting Marcos Maidana.
No, he just
and once again,
Victor
it was a lesson.
Virgil.
It was a story that he told me because it was a lesson that he taught me. Never get too high on a prospect until you see how well he can take a punch. And that's the truth. And we haven't seen that yet from Jaron Ennis. But he sure does look the part. Look, the only thing, and once again, there's no shame. That's what the 4, 6, and 8 round levels are for. And a great matchmaker will put you in and test you in fights you can win, but you're going to have to, it teaches you something, right? So Jaron Ennis had to kind of learn on the job that night and cutting off the ring and closing the distance. He had never had to do that before. He usually just fights guys in the pocket, right? But this guy was skating around the ring. So yeah, he really struggled cutting off the ring and closing the distance. But it wasn't a tough fight. He just had a problem cutting off the ring and closing the distance. Oh, hash face. You know what? You're right. Royman Villa is a big punching dude. That guy can punch. Yes, Atlantic City. You know what? I stand corrected. Good observation, my friend. I forgot about that fight in Atlantic City. That was Gogi's former fighter, Royman Villa. He kicked his ass out of the gym, though, because he said he couldn't listen. Can you imagine Gogi kicking Royman Villa out of the gym? Coach Gogi?
Really? That was Gogi fighter?
He used to be. He goes, yeah, if he'd stayed with me, he probably would have given Jerron Ennis a tougher test. I thought it was a great fight. I thought it brought out the best because that guy had a good chin and he could punch, man, Royman Villa. It's a good observation, Hash. I forgot about that fight, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think, Roman Villa is a good candidate. I'm just ready to see Boots,
I know.
in there with a guy like Virgil or,
well, look. Well, look, now, well, gosh, man, it sucks, dude, because until, like I always say this, there are no boogeymen in boxing, only non-ticket sellers. Let's just face it, guys. If Jerron Boots Ennis was a legitimate ticket seller and could sell out arenas, everyone would be standing in line to fight him tomorrow.
Yep.
But it's not worth it because he doesn't bring a lot of money to the table. He doesn't sell tickets. And he's considered like Dave Morrell Jr. Too much risk for the reward by most managers and promoters. But if he could sell tickets, oh yeah, everyone would be standing in line.
I know we got to get off of here, Joe. But speaking of that,
I'm sorry.
How do you think Morrell
Go ahead, sir.
is going to do at 175? Just real quick.
Look, let me tell you something. He's killing himself right now to make 68. So you are going to see a dynamic, spectacular version of Dave Morrell Jr. This guy may be the most athletic fighter in boxing. This guy does yoga in the ring. This guy is sick. He's a switch-hitting badass. Oh, my gosh, and he's got power in both hands. This guy does headstands in the center of the ring. His balance, his footwork, Ronnie Shields.
So, Joe, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Is you a little biased?
No. When I'm assessing talent, that's different. Okay, the only time I'm biased is when Javen fights and Tyson Fury fights. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
So
look, Ronnie's my brother, but no, assessing talent and yeah. Look, like I said, the only time that I have a favorite and I'll be rooting like a fan is for Javen. Right? Javen and Tyson. Yeah, that's it. That's the reason why I will not predict any of those fights. It's I'm slanted. I'm not looking at it objectively anymore. But I can make an analysis. But hey, we're getting to the tail end of this. Yes, 1.5 million, brother. Would you like to repeat your source as well?
Oh yeah,
just because of the guys who are coming in late.
Yeah, I was texting, one of the partners from Golden Boy, Bernard Hopkins, this morning. Because I was scrolling up my articles and I seen some about the pay-per-view numbers, and I just wanted to hit him up, to confirm that it was true, that the 1.5 million buys was true, and he said absolutely, 100%. That Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney did 1.5 million buys. Incredible.
Yep. And also that was confirmed. I spoke with last night matchmaker Robert Tapia, who does matchmaking and works with Golden Boy a lot as well. And he confirmed, yes, he's going to be on the show tonight. Thank you. At 7 p.m. Yes. So he confirmed the exact same number as well. Okay. So 1.5 million confirmed by two insiders who were close to the fight. Okay. And trust me, as soon as we get that confirmation from Oscar and Rick, yes, it's ironclad. Because they're going to be putting that out today. Rick and Golden Boy, right? Oscar De La Hoya. They're going to be putting their numbers out too.
Somebody's talking about 1.45 million coming from Ryan.
Hey, brother, that's good enough for me. But yeah, the 1.5 guys, 1.5 million. That's the number.
I know we're finna go, so I just want to give my plug. Shout out to everybody who on War Week, Radio War Week chat. You know, we appreciate y'all coming on here. If y'all want to follow me, please go follow me and my dog, JJ Solomon, on the Spit Bucket Podcast on YouTube. We do all our great interviews over there. We got an excellent interview with Bernard Hopkins we just did. And also, if y'all want to hear me, you know, the uncensored Mr.
Yeah.
IOTBA, please come to IOTBA Boxing Talk on YouTube and subscribe.
There he is. He's Corey Bradshaw, Mr. IOTBA, 214. I'll tell you what, it's been an absolute pleasure, Corey, this afternoon. And dude, I missed you, man. We have to do this more often, brother.
Oh, absolutely, man. I was trying to, you know, hit my guy up, JJ Solomon, because I wanted him to be on here with us, but you know, he was a little busy, and we looking forward to having you coming to our show real soon. Not only coming as a guest by yourself, but also coming. We cooking up some new things, Joe, and insiders like you, guys who got knowledge like you, who know the sports backward and forwards, who's not a fan, who really do this, who really in the field like we are. Them the type of guys for this new project we got coming up that we're going to do. So once again, everybody, please go subscribe to me and my guy, JJ Solomon, at the Spit Bucket Podcast.
Indeed.
And please subscribe to me if you like that uncensored talk when I'm on that bullshit again at IOTBA Boxing Talk.
Corey, it's an absolute pleasure. And please extend my gratitude to Mr. JJ Solomon. Very sharp guy. And I love your banter and I love your show. Guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to IOTBA as well as the Spit Bucket with JJ Solomon. And if you haven't already seen that Bernard Hopkins interview, check it out. It's still up, guys. And it is straight fire. Fire. But guys, yeah, Corey, we need to do this more often, and it would be my pleasure and a real honor to share the air with the both of you.
Oh, yeah, we can't wait to get you on the show, Joe. We can't wait, man.
Thank you, my friend. That is so kind of you guys, and it would be an absolute pleasure. But guys, on behalf of the incomparable, oh shoot, I'm sorry. Hold on. My alarm's going off. I thought I'd turn my phone down. My apologies, guys. That's not my theme music. But guys, on behalf of the incomparable Mr. IOTBA, Corey Bradshaw, I'm Joseph Heron. You've been listening to War Week Boxing, everybody. Have a great evening.
Vashon Holdings proudly presents War Week Radio Chats with ring announcer Joseph Heron